Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, or Ha, Kodash Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Nakar Karab Bani Yasharala, Khan, the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. Not today. I'll be doing a little lesson. I don't really have a title, it's an impromptu, but it was kind of inspired by, us, me and the Akim, was at work, and it was some things said, some things, it was something said. It wasn't that major to go into and be out angry about, but nonetheless, that matter that happened at work, it inspired this impromptu lesson of Psalms chapter 83. Without further ado, I'm gonna get right into the scriptures. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just get straight to the point, because Edom and these other nations and different things of the sort, and 2/3 of our own people, they are against the true men of the Lord. They are against what is right. But continuing, this is Psalms 83. I'm gonna just start at verse 3, straight to the point. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." See, these Edomites, these other nations, they have taken crafty counsel. Against our people, against the people of Yasharala, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled bird, i.e. the confusion of face around the four corners of this earth. They have consulted against the Most High's people, the Most High's children. They have come together in agreement to oppress and be against the children of Israel, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, and the Israelites that look like the other nations. But again, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may not be no more." It's like a what? That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that's what they have done. They have taken crafty counsel. They have consulted. They have came together and said, "Let us cut them off of being a nation." That's why we are called Black, Latino. That's why we're called Native American. That's what we call Africans. That's what we call Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. Black and different things of the sort like that. These other nations conspired against, right along with Edom, to cut us off as a nation so that our name would not be in remembrance. But according to the scriptures, the Most High said we will remember who we are in our captivity. We will remember that we are the children of Israel in the place of our captivity. These prophecies are taking place, but a lot of people don't believe them, nor do they want to believe them, but they don't have a choice. These prophecies are going to happen, and they're going to take place whether you believe them or not, or like them or not, but enough. But according to the scripture, these other nations have taken crafty counsel against us. They have come together in a conglomerate to cut us off from being a nation, to keep us from, and then especially Esau. They don't want us to, these Edomites, they don't want us to know that we Israelites. They don't want us to know this. And any Israelite that comes out and says, "Oh, well, we Israelites, we not this, we not that," they want to label it anti-Semitic and hate speech and all this other stuff and different things of the sort like that. But the truth of the matter is, we are the Most High's children. We are His people. Continuing. Verse 5, "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." They have consulted together with one consent. These other nations, Edom and these other nations, are all in agreement to keep us down, to keep us oppressed, to keep us not knowing who we are. They're all in agreement to against the Most High. They take consent and they are confederate against us. They are set against us. They stand contrary to us. But 2/3 of our people still want to try and be friends with these people, want to try and fit in. They're enemies. You don't trust enemies, period. Under any circumstances, you don't trust them. But continuing. "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." Here goes, and here is the nations. Here are the nations and our enemies that have taken this counsel against the children of Israel. The tabernacles of Edom, so-called white people. The Ishmaelites, what they call the Arabs or whatever you want to call it. But I'm gonna get right. I'm gonna just read it straight through and then explain. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarins, Salakia, Gebel and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre or Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison. So these nations, the Ishmaelites, i.e., what you want to call the Arabs, Moab, the so-called Chinese, Edom, the so-called white people, Ammon, the so-called Japanese people, and so forth and so forth. Amalek, the ones over there in the land of Israel, those fake Jews, just to give you a few names, you know, along with the Philistines and everything of the sort like that, the inhabitants of Tyre, all these other nations have taken counsel against us. So now, this is a Psalm of David, so he is saying, do unto them as the Lord did unto the Midianites. You know, as to Sisera, the Lord bust up the Midianites in previous scriptures at the brook of Kison. Verse 10, which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and Zalmunna, who said, let us take ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession. So these people and these nations came up against the children of Israel and said, let us take these people for possession. Let us take the so-called, in modern day times, let us take the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for possession, the house of the Most High. We are the Most High's jewels. They said, let us take them for possession. Let them put us into slavery and oppress us and put our people to death and all kind of manner of wicked things. But verse 13, O my power, or O Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind. Make them like a wheel as the stubble before the wind, like dust. Stubble before the wind, when the wind blows, it just blows away quick. Like a wheel going over the ground, it creates dust, and then the wind takes it and blows it away. That's what David is praying. Oh my God, or oh my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind. Verse 14, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So David is saying, let them be persecuted. And guess what? The Lord is going to persecute these nations for coming against his children. He's going to destroy these Edomites. He's going to destroy these Ammonites, these Moabites, and these Ishmaelites. He's going to destroy them. The Lord is gonna make them afraid. He's going to persecute them with his tempest. They're going to be as fire that they're going to be as the wood that a fire burns. It burns them away. The Most High is going to consume them. He's going to judge these other nations. And especially these Edomites. And it says, persecute them with thy tempest. Persecute meaning judge them with your anger, judge them with your righteous judgment, and make them afraid of thy storm, meaning make them afraid of the wrath and judgment. It says, and fill their faces with shame. When the Lord judge these nations and bring them down, he's going to fill their faces with shame. And that they may seek the name of the Lord. How is the Lord going to do that? He's going to use Yasha Allah to push his name around the four corners of the earth in the kingdom. He's gonna use us to make them submit to the power of Yahweh Yahushua. Period. It says, let them be confounded. They're gonna be confounded in the time of their judgment. They're gonna be troubled, forever, for a long time, and they're gonna be put to shame, and they're gonna perish. A lot of them gonna perish. Gonna get put to death. A lot of will. It says why, so that men may know whose name is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, art the most high over all the earth. So, when we be at these jobs and different things of the sort like that, you gotta know, and you gotta understand. Edom and these other nations, they have taken a crafty counsel against us. They are against us because they are our enemies, you know. But the Most High is going to judge them, and He's going to take them out of power, and they're not going to be able to do any of the things that they've been doing no more. With that, Shalom.